Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Peak District. It's about 20 minutes to sun up. I'm at the Ramore Rocks. There you go, just beyond the Roaches next door. And I was on my way to another location when I saw a load of clouds spilling over the hills in the distance. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna pull up at Ramore because there's some elevation here. Head up to the rocks and see if I can get some B-roll. So there you go. So I'm not particularly after photographs right now. I'm just going to get some shots to show off. But the other thing is, I think I mentioned this in the previous vlog, sometimes you just got to sit and enjoy this stuff. I'm going to sit and enjoy watching these clouds roll over. Well, I've arrived at my spot for this morning. Unfortunately, the mist is not here. I thought it might be as I was driving up. I could see like puffs of it here and there, but nah, it's not happening, which is a shame. But it's a lovely bit of woodland. The colour still not quite there with the changes, with the autumn changes, despite Craig Yates messaging me and trying to convince me that it's all happened. It hasn't. So yeah, gonna get in here and see what I can come up with. I love this place. Hopefully get some really nice shots. Let's see. I'm already out of breath. Only walked about 200 yards, but yeah, I'm here. Whoop. Quite nice. A lot of the trees seem to have lost the leaves already. That's a bit worrying. But I'm just looking up ahead, and there does seem to be a nice row that way with a bit of colour in it. And also the mist is, if you can see that tilt, still hanging around above. So clearly I'm in it, it's just too thin. But it might, with a bit of distance, present a nice backdrop up there. So I'm going to have a look. Okay, I think my eyes did not deceive me. It looks like a nice shot here. It's a bit muddy where I'm stood. I'm going to try and get set up where it's nice and, you know, safe for my gear. And I'll show you where I'm looking at. I think I've got the option of a few compositions here. It just depends how saucy I feel. I really like the line that the trees are making here as they bend around. There's a bit of a trough in the ground. I don't know if you can see that. There's a bit of colour up above. Let me just tilt this. Can you see the colour in the trees? And that mist as well. We've still got that mist, so I'm probably going to have to get a bigger one. It stretches right back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few shots about f8 just to, you know, get everything in. I want to see how that looks, but then I'm going to really drop the aperture, well, open up the aperture. I'm going to get down to I think no better than f4 with this particular lens, but I could put on my 50mm and really drop it down, and that will then soften all the back of there, really blur it out and make that look quite mysterious, I think. So I'm going to do a few shots. I'm not going to go through all the rigmarole of showing you the camera right now. We'll talk about that in a bit. For now, I just want to try and get these shots while there's some mist, and yeah, and then we'll chat. This is where that new 15mm lens is going to come into play. I've got the 7200 on right now though, and let me tell you why. When I was shooting up into the sort of avenue of trees earlier, I put the 50mm on and it didn't work. So you may already know the answer to this, but it just came up with F00. And I couldn't change it at all. I did the turning it off and on again and all that kind of stuff, switch lenses over, etc. Now, there's no need to comment about this because I guarantee by the time I get home, I'll have the answer. But how annoying is that? But so I switched to the 70mm and just moved a little bit further back and I got the shot. So I think, you know, no problem there. But I'm going to put the 15mm on because one of the other things about a wide angle lens is not that just you can get more of a sweeping vista in, it's that you can get closer to the subject here. For example, look at these wonderful tall trees. In fact, let's take a walk through them. One other thing about a shot like this and why the 15mm is important, but there's things to watch out for. I don't want any one tree to overwhelm the image. If possible, I mean 2-3 trees, that's absolutely fine, but if there's just one tree and it isn't something very special, it's going to just draw all the attention to it, no matter how well you've worked on everything that's behind. So try and keep them, if not in a row, balanced as far as the proportion of the trees in the image goes. The ones at the front I'm talking about. The further you go backwards, absolutely no problem at all, because everything just kind of mingles into one another. Okay. Look at this. I've got a lovely spongy carpet and a little table, all provided by nature. Thank you, nature. In return, I shall not leave my litter anywhere. So yeah, how's the new camera doing? Well, I'm super happy with it, as you can probably appreciate. It feels great. It takes wonderful photographs. I have to be there, but other than that, it does the job itself, to be honest. Chris Warner bought some feedback. And by and large, I think it was a really good time to get the new camera. Why did I get it? Did I need a new camera? No. No, my let's try that. I don't know what these are. Probably garbage, right? I don't know that I needed it, but I wanted it. And I do feel that I was watching the prices of all my gear on the exchange market begin to tumble. So I thought, if you're going to do it, now is the time. And I had a goal of within 2 weeks moving all my gear. So if I couldn't sell stuff privately, you know, that I was confident in, especially selling it to friends, I want it to work if it's being sold to friends, then anything I couldn't sell privately, I would take to an exchange service. And that's what I did. And I very quickly actually got the money together for it. And that made me realise how much gear I got that was a waste of time for me, that I should have just moved on ages ago. But yeah, you know, these things are sent to try us. So I got the R5. It was, after a lot of umming and ahhing, it was a toss-up between the Sony, I think it is the A7 IV. I know there's a 5, and arguably the better one to go for would have been the more expensive one, I guess, the latest one, but that would have really pushed the budget. And also, even with going with the 4, I would have needed a whole range of new lenses, and they would have been really expensive too by comparison. So I was able to keep the Canon lens I got there, the 70 to 200, and then get the 2 new ones that I've already mentioned, 15 to 30 and the 50mm, which currently isn't working apparently. And that all fell within the budget. So it was common sense. I'm not brand oriented. I just want something that works. I think that what this is going to bring to the table for me is more quality of life improvements. It does seem to have a very sharp and fast focus. It can shoot a lot of stills quickly that I don't care about because I don't, well, so currently presently don't do wildlife photography. I did need, I felt, that big megapixel range, 45 megapixels, because I crop a lot of images. I like to get in close on those crops, so you know, it just felt right to go for the bigger one. Had I not, I probably would have gone for the R6 Mark II. Look at that, by the way. So this is my, always on about this, my thermos flask. Really one of the best purchases I've ever made. Look at the spec. I mean, I've not been out that long this morning. Probably, I did this about 6. It's now, come on Mickey Mouse. It's now, it's 20 to 9, so actually, yeah. So this would have been boiled up at 6 this morning. It's 20 to 9, so plenty of time for it to have gone cold, and it hasn't. Really good. I'll pop it in the affiliate link so you can all put money towards my new yacht. Or a yacht. Tea bag today, don't know. I think it's one of them Ponzi flavoured ones, so I might not need the milk I stole from a garage this morning. That borrowed from a garage this morning. So, yeah, the new camera's fine. But of course, the big thing was the video, and you're going to see some of the video being used today, hopefully on the vlog. I've not equipped the sound system to it yet. It's another cable which I've got somewhere, but I don't know where, so there's no rush there. I'm currently using my DJI wireless mic system, and I've been shooting with the iPhone, with the GoPro, and today of course with this bad boy we'll see exactly what the results are. I'm not kidding you, that is red hot. I've had to stop doing that because it's so hot. And so I haven't bought any of my normal like tea making stuff. I'd bring my jet boil, whatever, if I was going a bit further than I am today. I mean, my car's there. So yeah, these are perfect for those little walks. I mean, it isn't even, it's not cold. Well, I just like it. I like a cup of tea when I'm out. What can I say? I'll tell you what's annoying. You watch Courtney Victoria and she's shooting these amazing big plump colourful mushrooms, and me, I found a bunch back there that just looked like something from that TV show The Last of Us, and then the only thing I found is a tiny little shroom, and of course my 50mm lens isn't working, so I'm trying to shoot it with this. Anyway, if it works, here's a shot. So, after all the bitching and moaning I did about mushrooms, I turned around, I walked 3 feet, big red mushroom. So, I'm just going to try and get a composition now. And I will show you this because I want to show off the view screen on this camera. Look at this, absolutely wonderful. Got everything viewed. This is a 7200 lens on, and it's absolutely managing this, no problem at all. And I can just, let me just show you this. Zoom in. Look at that, how crisp. So yeah, no complaints with that there. It's 2-second timer, of course, because you can see every vibration because it's so zoomed in. And yeah, so hopefully I'll have more than one mushroom shot to show you.